Hey, if you're watching this video, my name is Heem, and this is where I talk about my life. Um, yeah, my life's been good. You know, this video, I wanted to talk about my complicated relationship with weed. The devil's lettuce. The devil's lettuce. So, you know, the first time I ever did weed was by myself. I got a pen and I kept it in my car and I would hit it. I hit it for the first time, and I remember I was in the bathroom. So every time I do weed, it's usually after work, like in a setting like this. I'm not going to do it now, and I'm not high right now for reasons I will explain later. Because it's complicated. So I need to get through the prologue to sort my thoughts out. So I started doing weed like maybe, oh man, this is actually kind of tough. Maybe like 8 months ago, I would say. I started doing weed. And my first encounter with weed was so I got this pen, and then I would smoke it. I would smoke weed. The first time I smoked weed was after work, and I came to the conclusion that that was the best way to do it for my personal, what I was looking for out of it. I really enjoyed it when I first started, and I'm one of those people that's like super hard on myself and super diligent. So I made sure that I would like set a rule where I would only smoke once a week for at least like maybe the first 3 months. But then eventually there's that voice in your head that tells you that, maybe you should do a little more. So it became twice a week, and then from twice a week it became 3 times a week, and then from 3 times a week it became 5 times a week. And I just over time smoked more and more. And I don't regret it, but it's important to note. So what I think is important to talk about is what I like about weed. And that kind of opens a door to my experience. And what I would say is that weed for me is like, it's like a portal to, it's kind of like Severance in a way, where it's like, Severance is a TV show where a person has 2 separate consciousnesses, where one version of their consciousness, or one consciousness of this person, is always at work, and one consciousness of this person is always outside of work. And weed for me is kind of like that in some senses, where whenever I am high, I have these thought patterns that only exist when I am high, and I like them. And that's why I keep getting high. Right now, I only remember the feeling of being high, but I don't remember the essence of the thoughts. And I have an outside perspective of what it feels like to get high right now, but I don't actually have that perspective. Kind of like Severance. And I mean, plain and simple, I love the feeling of being high. I feel like when I'm high, I am able to it's like freeing, sort of. I'm able to be free. My mind is free whenever I'm high. It goes everywhere. And it's it's a feeling that I really, really value. I really love that feeling of being high, where my mind, and uh I'm saying this because being high is when I am high, I'm always alone. So I'm always introspecting kind of when I'm high, or I'm always just like thinking when I'm high, which is my favorite thing to do. I'm a thinking I'm a thinking person. I think a little too much probably. But um I love being high because it unlocks aspects, or it unlocks like thought patterns. It unlocks a mindset that I can't reach sober. And that mindset itself, that moment to moment feeling, the moment to moment experience of that mindset has a lot of value to me. So I bring this all up to say that, let's say a month ago, a month ago was like Ramadan, and Ramadan as a acting Muslim is where you fast for 30 days, and at night there's like this communal prayer at the mosque that you go to, which I went to basically every single night. And I thought fairly that I would just get high every night because I don't know. And I don't regret it at all. I got high every night because I wanted to, and it was great. And oh shit, there's a guy here with a dog. But I realized that over time that no, I didn't realize over time. I realized very quickly that this was a negative relationship I was developing with weed, where I would smoke it every night and I wouldn't view it. I wouldn't tap into that essence that I loved about it, which was when I would sit by myself and introspect. Instead, I was being social. I was using weed socially, talking to people and doing shit. And there's benefits to that, but not nearly to the degree of benefits that I get from being high by myself and in my peaceful sort of mindful state. Like, I love getting high in this car and just sitting here for like an hour. I love that. But I developed this bad habit over a month, and then after a month I was like, okay, I gotta get this shit in order. So I quit weed for a week, and I purposely told myself, all right, I'm gonna give myself a week break, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be mindful. So I made this whole regimen where I would like declare an intention, and I would try to smoke weed in a sense proper to, I was treating it right. I was treating it sacredly, sort of, in a way. Because when I was smoking over the month, it was not sacred. Its sacredity was lost. And I decided that I was gonna smoke sacredly once again. But this time I put even more emphasis on smoking sacredly. And that night I had an ego death experience. And it has really it's changed my life. It's kind of opened doors that were not open before when it comes to like my confidence, my perspective. It's opened up my perspective, basically. And over time, I had an ego death experience, okay? And I was literally just like a changed man the day after. Like, if I guess like if you gave me a voice changer and you sent me out into the world, um, like my friends would not recognize my voice or the way I talk. It was like completely different. I was enlightened. But over time I settled back down, which I expected to happen. I expected that to happen, and I still feel profoundly different. I feel profoundly enhanced, I guess. I don't know if that's not the word. I feel profoundly um different in a positive way, in the way I want to go. And um I have now been smoking in this way where I have been mindful and I've been setting intentions, and I've been smoking at most twice a week. And the last time I smoked was, let's say, 5 days ago, and I had a terribly bad trip, and it made me confront a lot of my preconceived notions that I developed, period. And what happened was I was smoking, and I guess I wanted to smoke that night because I was stressed because of school. And I guess that stress carried into the highness, which now that I think about it makes a lot of sense. And I was, um, I had a terrible trip, and I felt like I had so many premonitions and thoughts, so many negative thoughts that were just, I felt like I was falling apart. I was believing things about myself that I I have the so in general, I think everyone has these anxiety driven thoughts deep within them. Like, for example, is my life headed in the right or in the wrong direction? Everyone has that deep, at least I think everyone has that deep um existential question within them. And sometimes, for whatever reason, you believe that your life is not heading in the right direction. And I think what happened is when I was high, that small unconscious voice made itself conscious. And it was all I could think about, because when I was high, I took all my thoughts as truth. And it's because because here's the tricky part. If I don't take my thoughts as truth, then what is true, you know? If my Because when I was high on that bad trip, my thoughts had so much conviction to them that I jumped to the assumption that they were true. But let me tell you, the conviction I had for example, I was convincing myself that everything I had done over the past year has been I have been walking in the wrong direction in terms of where I'm going and the direction of my life. I was convincing myself that I was going in the wrong direction. And I believed that with so much conviction and so much reasoning in my head. My thoughts were spiraling, and I kept coming to the conclusion that my life is going in the wrong direction. And it was just like, I believed it from the core of my heart that that was true. So it makes me wonder now, at this moment that if I believe something like that with so much conviction, how am I supposed to believe anything that I believe if that's not true? Because the words that are coming out of my mouth right now do not have the same conviction that the words or the ideas in my head, carried on that bad trip. I can reason and say that, when I think about it, that, those thoughts were not real. But how can I trust that reasoning if they have less conviction than what I am believing right now? I think I fumbled that last sentence, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about a lot recently. And now I have come to some more realizations over the past couple days, which is that I have to I need to understand, and I need to grasp the concept that my thoughts do not carry truth, even if I have a strong conviction towards them. Because that's kind of the main lesson that I learned. And another thing that I have kind of but another thing that has happened is now I kind of have lost some trust in myself, because that was me who came to those convictions that I now look at, and I can't definitively say if they were right or if they were wrong. So maybe I need to come to the peaceful conclusion that my convictions do not carry truth, that they're separate from truth. And the only thing that brings something truth is, I guess, collaboration with others. I guess that's what science is, if you think about it. But I really thought I was arriving to truth. I really thought I was arriving to truth this entire time. But it turns out I'm not arriving to truth. It turns out I just have thoughts and convictions. And that there's no way to verify if they are true unless I put them out to the world. So who knows? Maybe that's the next step. But yeah. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Just wanted to ramble about my complicated relationship with weed. Yeah. I think I'm done with the quote of the day. It was kind of a gimmick. But yeah. I don't think there's anything else I want to add. I just think that this is something I need to grapple with before I think about smoking again. About this topic. It's really, really important to me, this topic. And I have a feeling that I didn't do a very good job of explaining it. I felt like I was rambling. and I wasn't really like thinking before I was speaking. But if that's the case, then that's the case. But yeah, long ass video. I'm out. Deuces.